Good morning, everyone. I am going to talk about what we're going to be doing for this semester and what we're going to do for each day this week. So I hope you're all doing well. I know this is a weird situation, so um, I hope that you can adjust okay to this um, online learning. All right, so I'm going to start um, by showing you guys the schedule. All right, so let's go over to this. You can see we have the stream in classroom, and in classwork, this is definitely where I would recommend going rather than trying to find things in the stream. So here we have the schedule, I'm just going to go ahead and pop out right there. And there's some information about me if you want to go over that. So let's talk about the schedule for this week, for the whole semester actually. So we have 3 weeks together, and the first thing we're going to do is, well, actually the only thing we're going to do is write a story. So we're going to write a story about a hero. You get to choose who that is and build the character. And then you're going to follow the outline for the hero's journey, which is a very old and very common way to set up an adventure story. Okay, so what we're going to do this week is to kind of just get an introduction to the hero's journey, brainstorming a little bit today, and character creation. So tomorrow, at the end of the day, your character should be built. You should have an idea of what your character is like. So then Wednesday, we're going to do a story outline, and you have a worksheet for that I'll show you. And Thursday, you're going to write the first part of the story. So you're going to describe the ordinary world of the character and give us an idea of who the character is. All right. As you can see, we will be writing a little bit of the story every day. And this is the breakdown of the points. That may change a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to classwork. So today we're going to talk about the hero's journey. Okay, this is kind of a simplified chart, an infographic that you can look at. This is the slide, the hero's journey little presentation that I'll go through with you guys. This is a video that we're going to watch in the presentation, but I wanted this to be here in case you wanted to watch it on your own. And this is another video we're not going to watch today, but I would definitely recommend watching. So you're going to get participation points for participating in Zoom or watching the video. And like I said, day 1 and 2 is character creation. So what you're going to do will make more sense. I'll read this to you after. But just know that you can either do a hero or an anti-hero, and both can be a lot of fun, especially the anti-hero, because it doesn't really, it's not always the typical kind of hero. So that's a lot of fun. This is the story outline for Wednesday, and this is the hero's journey worksheet. And day 4, like I said, is going to be the first 2 pages of your story, or longer, at least 2 pages. All right, so let's take a look at this presentation. All right, the hero's journey. One word that you need to know is archetype, and you can see the definition here. And that will come up a lot. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you.
What did Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo all have in common with the heroes of ancient myths? What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces, retelling dozens of stories and explaining how each represents the monomyth or hero's journey. So, what is the hero's journey? Think of it as a cycle. The journey begins and ends in the hero's ordinary world, but the quest passes through an unfamiliar, special world. Along the way, there are some key events. Think about your favorite book or movie. Does it follow this pattern? Status quo, that's where we start. 1 o'clock, call to adventure. The hero receives a mysterious message, an invitation, a challenge. 2 o'clock, assistance. The hero needs some help, probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock, departure. The hero crosses the threshold from his normal, safe home and enters the special world and adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. 4 o'clock, trials. Being a hero is hard work. Our hero solves a riddle, slays a monster, escapes from a trap. 5 o'clock, approach. It's time to face the biggest ordeal, the hero's worst fear. 6 o'clock, crisis. This is the hero's darkest hour. He faces death and possibly even dies, only to be reborn. 7 o'clock, treasure. As a result, the hero claims some treasure, special recognition, power. 8 o'clock, result. This can vary between stories. Do the monsters bow down before the hero, or do they chase him as he flees from the special world? 9 o'clock, return. After all that adventure, the hero returns to his ordinary world. 10 o'clock, new life. This quest has changed the hero. He has outgrown his old life. 11 o'clock, resolution. All the tangled plot lines get straightened out. 12 o'clock, status quo, but upgraded to a new level. Nothing is quite the same once you're a hero. Many popular books and movies follow this ancient formula pretty closely, but let's see how well The Hunger Games fits the hero's journey template. When does Katniss Everdeen hear a call to adventure that gets the story moving? When her sister's name is called from the lottery. How about assistance? Is anyone going to help her on her adventure? Haymitch. What about departure? Does she leave her ordinary world? She gets on a train to the capital. Okay, so you get the idea. What do you have in common with Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo? Well, you're human, just like them. The hero's journey myth exists in all human cultures and keeps getting updated because we humans reflect on our world through symbolic stories of our own lives. You leave your comfort zone, have an experience that transforms you, and then you recover and do it again. You don't literally slay dragons or fight Voldemort, but you face problems just as scary. Joseph Campbell said, "In the cave you fear to enter lies the treasure you seek." What is the symbolic cave you fear to enter? Auditions for the school play? Baseball tryouts? Love? Watch for this formula in books, movies, and TV shows you come across. You will certainly see it again, but also be sensitive to it in your own life. Listen for your call to adventure. Accept the challenge. Conquer your fear and claim the treasure you seek. And then do it all over again.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what this means for you, right? So the video showed us kind of an example, very general example of what the hero's journey looks like. This is another diagram of what the hero's journey looks like and how you would do the cycle yourself. Okay, so we're going to break all these parts down, so don't panic. You don't have to write them all in a day. This is going to be over the whole 3 weeks. All right, so you can see the different parts, the normal world, the unknown world, the many different parts of this. All right, so what is the hero's journey archetype? The hero's journey is a classic story structure that's shared by stories worldwide. So this was done unintentionally, right? So all these stories had the same structure, the same organization, and Joseph Campbell studied those and noticed that they all had a similar organization. And so he broke that all down and looked at what that means for us and what it means for the stories we tell. So it can be a lot of different things. It can be popular movies like The Hunger Games and things like that. Even The Lion King is definitely a hero's journey. So there are lots of different possibilities. So what you're going to do, your assignment overall, is to write a short story based on the hero's journey. So you'll create a character, first of all, and not just any character, a hero. So the hero doesn't have to be a fantasy character, it doesn't have to be this fantasy world. It can be anything you want. And another thing too is that we might see the hero's journey as something either fantasy or sci-fi, but it doesn't have to be that at all. The journey doesn't have to be fantasy. The setting can be anywhere. It could be your school. It could be a trip to Walmart, or it could be a dragon's cave, whatever you want it to be. It's completely up to you. We're going to break down the steps each day so you don't have to feel overwhelmed about the story. You got this. All right, so step 1, create your character in the ordinary world. That's what we're doing this week. So describe the character in the ordinary world the character lives in. The ordinary world needs to show a contrast between the character's everyday life and the setting of the adventure. Within the everyday world is a problem or issue. So to simplify that, the everyday life of the protagonist is shown along with their fundamental problem within society. So like in the Hunger Games, the big fundamental problem is the poverty of the district people, right? And how badly they're treated. So that's kind of an overarching problem that fits into the overall hero's journey. Okay, so the journey has yet to start. Before our hero discovers a strange new world, which he'll create also, we must first understand the status quo, their ordinary, mundane reality. It's up to this opening to set the stage, introducing the hero to readers. Importantly, it lets readers identify with the hero as a normal person in a normal setting before the journey begins, and that's very important. So the ordinary world is going to just be an everyday kind of mundane place. It's not supposed to be exceptional. So in the ordinary world, we have our first introduction to the protagonist in their normal life. And that's what you're going to be writing for Thursday. You're going to set the ordinary world and the character in that world. So this step is about finding out who the protagonist is, who his friends are or her friends are. What is their family life like? Everything about them, right? Their occupation, their strengths, their weaknesses. What other people think of them. More importantly, how they function within the world they live in. And what people think of them could be really important if you choose an anti-hero. The ordinary world isn't about the protagonist living on Earth wishing they were on another planet because Earth is so plain. It has to be about the normal daily life the protagonist lives every day. And what's even more important about the ordinary world is what the problem is with the world. There should always be a problem with society itself or a problem with the way the protagonist fits within society. If they're an anti-hero, that's probably going to be a given. This will be the fundamental problem that the protagonist must overcome throughout the journey. All right, so some extra credit. You can take the hero's journey and show how a story that you love follows the hero's journey. So you're going to map that. It doesn't have to be beautiful. You can just draw it out and take a picture. map the journey using the worksheet provided. So anything that shows the hero's journey, as long as it's in the right order. Okay, so we are finished with that. Let's head back to, oops, classroom. So you can see this information here is materials. So there's no grade there. It's just there for you. And you can see the slide we just went through and 2 videos that will help you understand the hero's journey. All right, you will get participation for viewing or attending the Zoom participation. And what you need to do for today and tomorrow is to create your hero. So this can be anything you want. Create a character that will be the hero of your story. Use the character creation worksheet to help you. Write a summary of your character and explain what makes them a hero or anti-hero. The anti-hero can be a lot of fun. So an anti-hero is a central character in a story, movie, or drama that lacks conventional heroic attributes. With the age of the anti-hero, baddies and goodies become less distinguishable from one another. So the anti-hero is someone who doesn't have qualities that we normally associate with heroes, right? So that can be a lot of fun to do an anti-hero. All right, day 3, the story outline. This is going to be the outline for the story. You can also do your extra credit this way. It just shows you the different things that, the different steps, right? There are 12 steps to the hero's journey. And finally, your first 2 pages of the story will be due on Thursday. In the ordinary world, we have our first introduction to the protagonist in their normal life. This step is about finding out who the protagonist is. We learn their occupation, what their strengths and weaknesses are, how other people think of them, and more importantly, how they function within the world they live in. The ordinary world isn't about the protagonist living on Earth wishing they were on another planet, right? We talked about that. It's about the normal daily life the protagonist lives every day. And what's even more important about the ordinary world is what the problem is with the world. So we need to show a very clear contrast between the ordinary world they live in and later the unknown world they enter. And so it's really important that you paint a clear picture of the ordinary world so we can see that contrast very deeply. Okay, so that should take us through the hero's journey for the first week. I will be available to you guys during our class time, and I will often have Zoom on, or you can message me in chat. You can email me, and you'll know that during your class time, I will email you immediately. And if you have any questions about this, please let me know. All right, have a great day.